Hey everybody, Boomhouse69 here. In today's video, I'm going to show a product that I have in my hiking backpack full of gear. The backpack I use when I go camping, hiking, and stuff, and I always have a bunch of basically survival gear and stuff, or camping gear if you'd like to call it that, stuff. And this is something I think is a very useful item without camping, hiking, or simply having in an emergency survival kit. You know, like a kit you make for when you live in an area where you have really bad storms and you might need some shelter. I think this product is a really good useful product. It's a multi-use kind of product. You can use it for multiple things and stuff. Because I always follow the 5 C's of survival: cutting, cordage, cover, container, and combustion. The 5 C's of survival, as they call it. And this would fall in the category of some sort of cover. Now this product is a lot better than those cheap paper thin Mylar blankets, and I feel this is a little bit better than a standard old tarp and stuff. This company that makes this product here is called Arcturus. There's the name and stuff of it. As you can see, it's a heat reflected, windproof, waterproof, emergency survival blanket, all purpose. I've had this for a long time. That's why the case looks kind of not very in good shape, because I had quite a bit in my survival pack. But one thing I'll say about the I like about this is the pouch is big enough to house the actual tarp survival blanket, and you can also, you know, put you some cordage in here, you know, some rope. That's what I do. I took the rope out before I did this video. I had some rope in here, and sometimes I also keep maybe some matches and tent stakes, some of those plastic tent stakes and stuff. So you could basically build you like a little mini survival kit. Even put a little knife in there. You have you know, that's how much space the tarp takes up. So you have a little bit of room for maybe some extra gear, you know. So yeah, I have a fold up saw that I could probably put in here, and later on after this video I'll probably do that from some little bit extra survival gear in here and stuff, or just in case I just want to bring this and nothing else, you know. But what this is the Arcturus survival tarp blanket. It's one of those where you can use it as like a tarp shelter cover. They make two kinds of these. They make this size, and then they make an XL size. I plan on later on getting the XL size, but how I found out about this product is because I watch a lot of bushcrafting survival videos on YouTube, and there are always a lot of the survivalist preppers have this blanket tarp with them and stuff. You can see this one's used because the grommets are already got corrosion on them and stuff, because I had this for a long time. I've used it quite a bit and been pretty happy with it. But what this is, I'll fold it all out for you and show you how big it is. But I'll show you here. This is not no ordinary recover tarp. What it is it's also a survival blanket. That's why I say this is better than a Mylar blanket, you know, the little cheap paper thin tin foil blankets that every cheap made in China pre-made survival kit has. And that's why I say it's also better as a regular tarp, because of the reflectiveness. You know, in a survival situation, say you're out camping, hiking in the woods, you get lost and you need to signal for help. This could be a signaling device because it's shiny, you know, aim it at whatever, you know. Maybe you're out with a group of friends and you get lost, and they call local law enforcement in your area to send out a search and rescue team to find you because you got lost off the trails or whatever. You know, you could use this to signal aircraft and different things. But here's how big it is. Now I got the camouflage one. They come in multiple colors. Like you can get an orange one and in a just straight up like army green and a blue and stuff. So they have a few variety of colors, you know. I got for this one here I got is actual the camouflage one. This is the Wakeware size one, not the XO. But the main reason why I got this, because a lot of bushcraft survival, unless I watch on YouTube, they recommend these Arcturus survival blankets and stuff. And what I like about it is you can wrap it around your body and use it as a way to shelter yourself from body heat. What will happen is on the reflective side, when you're, let's say you're out in kind of cool weather and you want to stay nice and warm and you ain't got a coat or you ain't proper repairing, this is all you got, you can wrap this around your body. And then what will happen is your body heat will bounce off in this, the reflective side, and then bounce back onto you, keeping your body heat, and your body heat will help you keep you nice and warm. So you could use this as a blanket, or use the grommet hose and use this as a wakeware, like lean-to tarp. You know how you use a tarp to make your a makeshift shelter tent roof? You can do that as well. And so there's multiple uses for this. You can even lay this as a ground cloth and lay down and cover yourself up on it. I won't show you that because I got the camera up too high where I wouldn't be able to show you, but well, I'll see if I can adjust the camera here. But this is very useful in a survival situation, I say, you know. See if I can adjust. But here's what I look like laying on the tarp. As you can see right here, I can easily, with the tarp, wrap it around my body like so. And I can easily wrap this around my body. I got plenty of room where I can lay on this on the ground and wrap myself up in it, kind of like a sleeping bag. And then with the grommets in the four corners, if I had to use this kind of like a sleeping bag, I could easily take some cordage and tie cordage through the grommet hose and kind of to keep it, you know, from blowing off of me at night and stuff, and to help tie it onto my body to keep me nice and warm if I had to use this like a sleeping bag and blanket. What I do a lot with this is I use it as a tarp shelter. When I don't have a tent with me or something, I will tie this up and make it into like a lean-to shelter or some sort of form of like a roof shelter, maybe, you know, an A-frame or lean-to, you know. This is just like any standard tarp out there, like any tarp, you know. If you know how to build a shelter out of a tarp, you could build a shelter out of this, you know. It's just, all it is basically a tarp with a reflective side to it, thus making it a survival blanket. So in a pinch, you know, cold weather, if you're out cold weather camping, you could easily put this around you if you had to. Like, it's right now like 70, a little bit close to 80 degrees out right now. That's in Fahrenheit. Where if I keep this wrapped around my body, I'm gonna start sweating and being heat. So, but yeah, this thing definitely, I'm about 5'8", so this definitely, I could use this definitely as a blanket. Somebody maybe over 6 foot might have a little problem, but it's, as you can see, it's fairly big size. I forget the what the dimensions are, what the sizes. I'll have to look that up, but I'll put an Amazon link down in the description where you can get this. And it's easy. This is easy to fold up real easy and stuff. That's what I like about this. It's real easy to fold up. I usually just follow the already creases in the tarp itself. But it just folds up like any normal tarp would, you know. It's easy to put back in. You just make it kind of a small rectangular shape here and stuff. Up there. Folds up pretty easy, and again, what I like about the cases, there's plenty of room where you can store some extra stuff, so you could easily put a few little small items in there, like maybe a small pocket folding saw, or maybe a little like Victorinox knife, or maybe you got a Leatherman, you know, you could store a little knife in there, and some, maybe you want some plastic tent stakes. I put plastic tent stakes in here, cordage. That's one thing I would do with this. If you buy one of these, you know, put the stuff that you think you're gonna need to help you build a shelter out of this. If you're gonna use this as like a A-frame lean-to tarp, you know, put maybe some plastic tent stakes in here, maybe some cordage, you know, easily a bit lighter, some matches, you know. You can kind of build, I would say, build a little like mini survival kit out of it. And then that way, when you're out camping, hiking, you can take this along with you and not have to bring a whole lot of gear with you if you don't want to bring a whole lot of gear. And you could easily have a emergency shelter that would at least allow you to last a night or something, you know. Obviously, you're not going to be able to fit any like little pots or anything in this unless you had some like weird little plastic little collapsible water bottle and a little like life straw, maybe, you know, one of those small mini Sawyers you might be able to put in here and stuff, you know. But yeah, it's but there's about the space you have left over roughly to put some extra gear and stuff. But I got this because I saw a lot of bushcrafter survival videos, and they were always bragging about these Arcturus survival blankets, and I needed some sort of tarp, and I thought, well, since they're always recommending these, I decided to get it, and I'm glad I did, because I know in a survival situation I can definitely use this for multiple uses. Whether I have a tent and I set up my tent, I could use this as a rain fly over the tent, or if I want to, I have maybe another tarp to use as a rain fly and I need some warmth. Maybe it's a little cooler out, or maybe I'm out in the fall time or early springtime camping and it gets kind of cold out and I need an extra layer like blanket. I know this will get the job done. I had this for a really long time, and over 6 or 7 years. So yeah, as far as like a useful survival item, and I'm glad I found it, because there's some times where I had used this before, you know, and stuff when I went camping and stuff, and I forgot. And I had my little 2-person dome tent, and I forgot my other tarps and stuff. I always remembered I had this. Like, there was one time when I'm like, oh crap, I forgot my tarp, and then I realized, oh yeah, that's right, I got the Arcturus. And so I used this as my rain fly over my little two-person dome tent, and I'm lucky I did, because it rained and rained and rained. I anchored this down with my cordage and tent stakes I had, and this did an awesome job holding up to the weather and stuff. And it's getting a little beat up because I had it for many, many years, so I might have to, you know, get a little bit newer one later on down the line just to be extra safe. But yeah, I've used this quite a bit, and it's turned out to be quite handy and stuff. And it's definitely windproof, waterproof, heat reflective. You know, you just gotta make sure you have it properly anchored down right, you know, when you're using it as like a shelter cover, you know, like a roof on a roof of any sort or rain fly. Just make sure you have it properly anchored down with good tent stakes and cordage. Some recommend using jute twine for, you know, like number 32 bank line jute twine, or 550 paracord and stuff for when you're building shelters and stuff, and so I always recommend, you know, kind of what the other bushcraft survivalists recommend and stuff, and what I personally use. And I definitely recommend paracord, 550 paracord, or stronger, bank line jute twine, and stuff. Because with jute twine, that bank line, that number 32 bank line, as some survivalists call it, jute twine's a lot smaller, so more compact, so you could easily fit a bunch of that in here and stuff. Matter of fact, I'll show you. Right here, I got some shoestring and 550 paracord that I keep in this for when I need rope, especially the paracord. And it fits right in there. Kind of makes it a little bit puffy, but yeah, that's usually what I do. And then sometimes I'll even throw a big lighter in here, or some matches or something, or maybe a ferrocerium rod, and then some tent stakes as well. I actually took the tent stakes out of this and put them in our tent I had, because the tent I bought didn't have very good tent stakes, so I put the plastic tent stakes I had in here into that tent and stuff. But I always keep this in my hiking backpack, and whenever I go camping, hiking, I always know I got some sort of cover. Again, they have a variety of different colors. They have regular orange, the camouflage, as you see here, blue, and then standard green, just regular like army dark green, and then I think they even have like brown and also desert camo as well. This is just what they call woodland camo, and they have two sizes. This size, and then they have the XL size, which I do want to get the XL size, get that one as well, and then have both sizes, and just in case I need a little bit bigger tarp for a shelter. Maybe I'm with a couple friends or something out hiking, and they didn't bring any shelter, and we get caught up in a rainstorm where we got to hunker down for the night, you know. The XL one would become in handy. Now, my final thoughts on this product: 5 stars, 2 thumbs up, because it's very well made, and I like how the I'll show you, the grommets are nice and reinforced. With, you know, basic standard tarps like you get at Tractor Supply or Menards and Home Depot, a lot of times the grommets tear out. And this right here, I've used it so much that that I never had to worry about any of the grommets, you know, tugging. And I've been in some rainstorms that you know, that had really good winds to it, where in my area you're starting thinking, what, is there a tornado in the area? Where that church camp I used to go to when I had time off from work, I'd go to this church camp, and I had to use this, and there were some nights where it just downpour, your winds batting around your tent, and this saved my butt many a times from getting major wetness inside my tent and ruining my tent. I used this as the rain fly, and it worked perfectly. I give it 2 thumbs up. and 5 stars for being really good. The company that makes this, they made a really good product. They also make rain ponchos as well, and a few other items. You can get this off of Amazon. That's where I bought this. It's off of Amazon.com. I'll put a link down in the description for it. But yeah, 5 stars, 2 thumbs up for being a good survival product and stuff. So yeah, if you would like this sort of content, give this video a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Comment your thoughts below. Good video, bad video, what do you think? Also, I have other videos of this product as well on my YouTube channel, so feel free to go back and check those out as well. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and share this video with everyone you know, because that's going to help me, Boomhauer69, in growing this YouTube channel. And yes, I even contemplated about, when I had the money, buying some of these and giving them out to the homeless, because these are a really good product, and they run about around $20. These about $20, or I think it is about around $20 or something. I think you have to pay for these, but I'll put an Amazon link down in the description when you get the newest price on them and stuff. So yeah, they are a little bit up there, kind of in price, and I even thought about, you know, in the future, if I had a buttload of money, buying some of these and give them to the homeless, because this would be perfect for a homeless that's living out in the woods and stuff, and since it's a multi-use thing, you can use it in multiple different ways and stuff. This would be way better than like a standard tarp. Probably what I would do for the homeless, I'd probably get the XLs if I can afford it. Get the extra large size for them and stuff. But yeah, hope you all have a good day. Now, if you excuse me, I gotta go back and put this back in my hiking backpack, so I remember where it's at when I gotta go hiking.